Cross coverage of the 2021 OHSAA Wrestling Tournament made possible by Dave Foster of Foster and Motley, Jeff Burkhoff's Old Coaches Association, Kent Smith of State Farm, La Rosa's of Cold Spring, Kentucky, Dan and Sarah Starkey, Greg Klein of Klein Residential, Steve Burke, Friends of Operation Give Back, Matt and Dominique Mercurio, Dr. Kevin Riley, Dr. Stephen Daly, and the Southwest Ohio Wrestling Coaches Association.
We can't hear him on the here either.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yep.
I cannot hear him.
Okay, right now we have the semifinals on mat number 1 and mat number 2. Looks like mat number 1 was McBurney, a Massillon Perry with a fall over St. Ed's, I believe. Nope, that match is still going on. On mat 2, we have Joy from Wadsworth versus Grunzig from Solon. Right now it's a tight match, 12-1.
Yeah, we're looking at mat 1 over there. It looks like it's second period, 1-0. So a tight match on mat 1 here in the second period. Again, that's Massillon, Perry, and St. Ed's over there wrestling on mat 1 in the semis. As Jerry mentioned on mat 2, yeah, score 12-2. Looks like they're in the second period with 19 seconds left.
And then we actually have a score of 12-2 with Wadsworth up. Wadsworth is in red, and Solon is green.
Test. Channel 1.
Yep, and if you're joining us, we're at the 106-pound weight class. So these are the semifinals here.
So it's the
Again, we
game.
got
Let's
Massillon
turn up the
Perry and
game.
St. Ed's on mat 1. Wadsworth and Solon on mat 2. Hey, Jerry, as we're watching these, our Southwest Ohio guys didn't do so well. We didn't have any guys in the top 8 at 106 here.
No, I think maybe we were a little bit weaker in the lower weights, at least evidenced by the state tournament here. Obviously, the winners of these 2 semis will meet in the finals later on today. But right now, it is a tight match on mat number 1 with Bennett of St. Ed's. Looks like he's up by
Guys, I
a
still have
point
no monitor.
over McBurney of Massillon Perry.
Yeah, and we're looking on that mat 2, 14-2, so. But again, Jerry, as we go back to our Southwest Ohio guys, Spalding, Cochran, Johnston, and Stevens did not place this weekend. They were our representatives for Southwest Ohio. The beauty is 3 of them are 9th graders and 1's a 10th grader, so they got plenty of years left to get on the podium.
Right, so definitely bodes well for the future. Maybe not so well this year, but 2 to 3 more years should be going pretty well. It looks like we are in the 3rd period with about 35 seconds left on mat 1. And score is still 1-0. Looks like favor of Lakewood St. Ed's. Bennett, St. Ed's. Bennett came in at 17-3. He also is a freshman. And he's going up against McBurney of Massillon Perry, who is a sophomore, 25-7, coming into the tournament.
Yep, he looks like he's got about 5 seconds left, 4 seconds left. If he holds on to that 1-0 score, he will head into the finals.
And it looks like on mat 1, it's over with Joy of Wadsworth, victor in the first 106-pound semifinal match.
Again, looking at mat 1, we got about 4 seconds left. Bennett from St. Ed's winning by a point. Score 1-0 there.
Semifinal match, 113 pounds, from Dublin Kaufman, freshman with a record of 33-0, Omar Ayoub.
And victor of the first semifinal match over on mat 1 is Bennett from Lakewood St. Ed's, score of 1-0. On mat 2, we started the 113-pound weight class. We have in the maroon and in the red colored anklet, we have Fry, Nolan Fry, coming in at a record of 32-5, and he is a junior. And he's going up against Ayubad. And Ayubad is a freshman, Omar Ayubad from Dublin Kaufman. He is undefeated at 31-0. Should be a good match.
Yeah, we're over there on mat 1 as well. We got another St. Ed's wrestler. We got Richter from St. Ed's and Wilson from Dublin Scioto. So they're just started their match on mat 1. Score is 0-0. Again, second weight class, St. Ed's had someone in the semis. So as I was looking at the scores earlier, team scores, St. Ed's is in first place going into this semifinal round.
And on mat 2 right now, we have scored 2-0, and that actually is Dublin Kaufman, Omar Ayab, I think is how you say it, Omar Ayab, again coming in, Ayub, again coming in at 31-0, undefeated freshman from Dublin Kaufman.
Tight match over on mat 1, 48 seconds left in the first period. Score is still 0-0.
On mat 2, we have started the second period, and Fry of Walsh Jesuit chose down. Let's see if he can work his way out to an escape or reversal here.
Just as an aside, guys, over in Division II, we have a local wrestler, Malachi O'Leary of Wyoming, is wrestling in the semifinals against Dan Adams of Louisville. We'll bring a report to you, the outcome of that match when we get it.
Hey, Jerry, much like our 106-pounders, our Southwest Ohio guys didn't fare well at 113. So we don't have anyone in the placement rounds from the Southwest area. Mitchell, Hollis, Lippett, and Moreland all got eliminated.
Yeah, I was actually surprised with Brandon Mitchell. He was 31-2. I thought for sure he was a placer this year. But again, he is a junior, so he does have another year of eligibility next year. So hopefully next year will be the year. This was kind of a crazy year overall. You know, obviously with the different requirements and things related to the COVID. Number of matches are all over the board when you look at the different wrestlers. You know, kind of based on whether or not, you know, they were maybe in contact with somebody who tested positive. We got a fall over on mat 1. It looks like, is that Richter? Trying to see here. Dublin Scioto with the fall. So Wilson, Dublin Scioto with a fall over Richter of Lakewood St. Edwards.
I think one of the things that I've noticed over the last several years is the emergence of Central Ohio wrestling. The teams here in Central Ohio have stepped up their game considerably from a few years ago. They've taken the challenge and they've been moving on it.
So on mat 1, they're heading to the 120-pounders. We have our first Southwest Ohio wrestler. We got Damian Ryan from Centerville in the semis here with Goebel from Findlay. We will have 2 Southwest Ohio guys in the semis at 120, as Jack McCall from Lebanon will be coming up shortly.
Okay, it looks like we just ended the second period on mat 2, where we have mat 1. Okay, got it. We're gonna.
Yep, so we're at mat 1. Again, we got our Southwest Ohio champion, Damian Ryan, in the semis.
Okay, so again, looking at mat 2, right now we have Fry of Walsh Jesuit, who is trailing Ayab of Dublin Kaufman. Danger of defensive pin here, not careful, danger of a defensive pin.
Okay, so we're back at mat 1, score 0-0. Goebel from Findlay, Damian Ryan, one of our Southwest wrestlers from Centerville.
Damian Ryan, actually a junior, comes in the tournament 30-0. So right now he's sitting at 32-0, so undefeated. And Goebel out of Findlay comes in with a record of 41-5. Right now a 0-0 match as the first period comes to an end. The referee with the coin toss. And Ryan of Centerville chooses down to start the second period.
Again, Ryan's objective here is to get out from the bottom and score a point, get back on his feet. What I find pretty amazing, Jerry, is Goebel coming in with 46 matches with this COVID season. Got in a lot of matches coming into the state tournament.
Yeah, it seems like you do have a few of the, I would say, probably upper crust, top tier schools that still maintained, at least 40 to 41, 42 matches this season. And I think a lot of that, though, is due to traveling, being able to travel across the U.S. to the different tournaments and things. I know that over St. X, where I coach, we only had about probably 14 matches, maybe 15. Again, most of our matches were dual meets as opposed to tournaments. A lot of that was by design to limit the attendance at the events. So that's why it's nice to have a state tournament this year and actually see, all the wrestlers here, from across the state of Ohio. Probably get to see some really high quality wrestling here. So.
As we were talking here, Damian Ryan did get an escape, so he's up 1-0. Got about 32 seconds left in the second period. Couple shots by Goebel here over the last minute, and good defense by Ryan.
Now wrestling on mat 2.
Unfortunately, Malachi O'Leary of Wyoming in Division II lost his semifinal match against Kenneth Crosby of Akron St. Vincent St. Mary, and he'll be dropping into the consolation round. But so far, O'Leary's had a pretty doggone good time of it, and he'll be wrestling Carmen of Carrollton in the consolation semifinals later on this morning.
So it looks like starting now on mat 2, the 120-pound semifinal, we have Jack McCall, who's a sophomore from Lebanon, comes in at 29-6, and he is going against the winner of the Perrysburg district, Sean Seafeld. Sean is a senior, coming in at 20-3. So right now, a 2-1 match, favor of Seafeld of Lakewood St. Edwards.
Yeah, we're going back to mat 1 here. The score's 1-1 in the third period. So it's a real tight match over there with Damian Ryan from Centerville trying to get into the finals. But Goebel did get an escape as we started that third period. And again, that score of 1-1, really tight with about a minute left in the match.
So right now, McCall of Lebanon, Jack McCall gets an escape, but he's still trailing by 2 to Sean Seafeld of Lakewood St. Ed's. Nice attempt at a takedown as he go out of bounds.
Please remember, respect the game.
Jack McCall coming in as a number 2 finisher out of Kettering Fairmont.
Again, on mat 1, real tight match with about 30 seconds left in the third period here on mat 1.
So a little bit about Jack McCall from Lebanon. He is a returning state qualifier. Obviously the state meet from last year did not happen, but he was a 4th place district finisher last year. and his parents, Louis McCall and Jamie McCarty. So congrats to them. He's got about a 2.5 average.
Overtime.
Interested in becoming an underwater welder. How about that?
Looking at Mat 1, 1-1, they're going into overtime. So really, really tight match there on Mat 1.
So Jack McCall of Lebanon actually narrowed the score here. He's within 1 point now. And he's on his feet against Sean Seafeld, Lakewood St. Ed's. It's only second period.
Yeah, Mat 1 started the overtime here. The goal here is someone to get a takedown. That first period in overtime is a minute. Both fighting for the takedown pretty good. Good defense by Ryan.
Ryan's in on a nice shot. Again, it is sudden death in terms of the first period of the 1 minute overtime period. So whatever point is scored first, that wrestler wins. A lot of times it's a takedown, but sometimes it could be a penalty.
Ryan in on a shot. Oh. Good scramble here.
Oh.
Just like Goebel from Findlay, got that takedown. And he will head into the finals.
Cole Lebanon fighting to get a Cray win and hopefully get his left leg back behind so he can get the takedown. There's a replay on the takedown.
Match 287 on Mat 1 from Whitmer High School.
Looks like about 7 seconds left in that second period.
Jeremy Ginter. And from LaSalle High School, a 2-time state placer and state champion with a record of 38-1, senior Dustin Norris.
Yeah, we got one of my favorite wrestlers on Mat 1, Dustin Norris from LaSalle, returning state champ from 2 years ago, trying to become a 2-time state champ.
Anytime you're a state placer in Ohio, it's extremely impressive. The fact that, you know, if you're a multiple state champion, it's truly an incredible feat.
Yeah, Dustin Norris going up against Jeremy Ginter. Believe it or not, he's a 9th grader from Whitmer.
Back here on Mat 2, though, right now we have Sean Seafeld just gets the takedown to add to his lead. He's now up by 4 points, score 7-3 over Jack McCall of Lebanon.
As we watch these matches, all these guys who are wrestling right now will place top 8. So it's a matter of what placement they get as they win or lose these upcoming matches.
Yeah, so the key in the
I can't find anything
state
on
tournament
the
is
monitor for the on-off to be
to
sure.
win 2 before you lose
there was
2.
one of the lines
You win 2
is
before you lose 2, then
disconnected
you're
from,
guaranteed at least 8th place
the input
and all
on
the
the
way up
back,
through first.
and I really don't know it.
Good battle here on Mat 1, again with Ginter and Norris. Norris trying to get around to get 2 here.
There we go. His takedown, Dustin Norris to Sal. Now he's getting back points.
Well, with the power forward,
So again, when you break the 45-degree plane with the back of the shoulder blades, if it's at least 2 seconds, it's a 2-point near fall. If it's at least 5 seconds, it's a 3-point near fall.
Yep, looks like Dustin has that cradle locked up, trying to get him to his back.
If you get behind that leg and walk into his head, it can be pretty tight. Now he's in a lot better position right here. And he did get 3 near fall to lead the match 5-0. Start of the second period coming up. Back on mat 2, we have about a minute left. And we have, let's see here, Seafeld of Lakewood St. Ed's is still up 7-4 over Jack McCall of Lebanon. And right now, Seafeld just got hit and warned for stalling. So backing up, trying to protect his lead.
Yep, looking on mat 1, Dustin Norris did get an escape, making it 6-0. Right away went in on a shot, looking to get a takedown.
All state qualifiers, state championship history, and lots of other exciting features are included. Pick up a copy of your program today in the Commons.
False start.
Yeah, we got some blood time on mat 2, so we're over here on mat 1. Again, I saw Dustin this week. He was up at getting the workout in and had him come over and talk to the youth kids. And man, what a nice wrestler. But again, he's a Purdue commit. We talked a little bit about Big Ten. Again, he's heading to the Big Ten next year, Purdue. Mentioned he's probably going to redshirt his first year, get acclimated to the college big time. But what an awesome wrestler.
Well, that's awesome. Big Ten wrestling is, I would say, the top conference in the country in terms of collegiate wrestling. You know, almost every week in, week out, you're wrestling a nationally ranked contender.
Well, 120 pounds has been a pretty successful weight class for Greater Cincinnati wrestlers. Lucas Bird was the last Cincinnati wrestler to win a state title here, and that was at 119 pounds back in 2019. And it was Willie Weinberg's 3rd championship in his 4-championship career. And then you got to go all the way back into the 70s for local success.
Match 288 from Rexham.
It was a good match on mat 2. McCall of Lebanon falling by a point, 7-6. So he brought the match back within grasp, but in the end he lost by a point to Sean Seafield of Lakewood St. Edwards.
So McCall will drop down and try to come back and take 3rd place.
Yes, correct. Yep.
So we're back on mat 1 here. Dustin Norris is in charge of this match. He's winning 6-0. Looking good on his feet. Good defense.
Getting ready to start the 3rd period here, 3rd and final period. Hopefully, right?
And I think Jerry Dustin's goal is just to continue to wrestle tough, not give up any points, and win this match and get into the finals. You know, we talked to Dustin last week a little bit. You know, they LaSalle guys have worked a lot on top this year. Just really good, finding a way to ride on top and control their opponent. He's doing that right now with about 1 minute and 30 seconds left in the 3rd period.
We have another 120-pounder on the mat.
He's trying to work through and get that trap turn.
Brandon Soder.
Again, a tight ride. Looks like he's also working a possible tilt here.
Yep, Dustin riding tough on top. He's committed to keep that wrestler down, not let him go. Even though he's winning 6-0, could give up and escape, but his goal is to continue to ride him tough on top.
Attempted a Granby there by Ginter from Whitmer. So I see Dustin Norris has 1 loss coming into the tournament. Don, you know where that occurred? Or who his loss was to?
I think he was, it was either, it may have been at Powerade,
Okay.
one of those big national events where he had that loss.
It's probably against somebody he'll meet in the future in the Big Ten.
That's right, that's right.
So warning stalling now against Dustin Norris. He's got about 30 seconds left and hang on to the victory. In on a takedown. Trying to work that single leg.
About 10 seconds left. He's in on that single.
Stalemate. Start him back up.
Got about 5 seconds left. Dustin will probably just stay on his feet, circle. 5 seconds left, win the match. Again, score 6-1, about 5 seconds left in this match. He's just gonna circle. And we got Dustin Norris from LaSalle heading into the finals.
Match 290 on mat 1 from Walsh Jesuit High School with a record of 19-1, sophomore Liber Van Dyke. And from LaSalle High School with a record of 25-0, a two-time
We got another LaSalle wrestle, Jerry,
state
coming up on
placer,
mat 1.
Senior Casey Wiles.
We got senior Casey Wiles coming up.
Casey Wiles comes in right now. He is at 26-0, so undefeated senior from LaSalle High School, two-time state placer coming into this event. And he's going against Liber Van Dyke from Walsh Jesuit, who comes into the tournament right now. He's at 19-1 record, so he only has one loss himself, so it should be a good match. Wiles right now in on a shot, looking to finish. And he does. Covers the hips, gets the takedown. Take a few moments to replace his headgear.
Yeah, Jerry, we talked a lot, Van Dyke's only a 10th grader. These guys are coming into the state tournament, coming into high school, ready to compete for a state title at an early age.
Absolutely. We just saw that takedown on the replay. And right now we have an escape by Van Dyke from Walsh Jesuit, and they're back on their feet. I would say Casey Wiles, the times I've seen him wrestle, I would say his strength is on his feet. So he's most comfortable there.
Yep. You see both these wrestlers for a while down on one knee, looking for that low shot.
Yeah, the one knee wrestling always, always kind of perplexes me a little bit. Part of it looks like it could be an advantage because there's less of your legs exposed for a shot. But then on the flip side, you're so low to the ground, you would think you would be suspect for the head snap or the front headlock.
Yep.
Oh, nice attack.
Yep, nice shot there, nothing yet.
Scramble situation. Casey's got to be careful here.
Back on their feet. Good defense there.
I think that was a good non-takedown call. Here it is on the replay.
Trying to catch up with Brian Sauter of Batavia at 120 over in Division II. Unfortunately, he fell in overtime and got dropped into the consolation bracket. But he'll be going again in the semifinals and the consolations, and still is going to place in this tournament and be part of what I like to call the all Ohio. This is the only event in the state where literally, well, that's in track, I guess, where you really have a complete record of who actually is number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, just like the national.
Yeah, looking at this match, Casey Wiles got an escape, making the score 3-1 as we're about 1 minute and 30 seconds left in the second period.
Both on their feet again. Working for the takedown. Casey trying to work that 2-on-1 Russian.
You know, Jerry, we talked about it last week. You know, I remember Dustin and Casey at it. You know, these guys were 4, 5, 6 years old, 7 years old wrestling. So coming into high school, these guys had, you know, 10, 11 years of wrestling under their belt. So been around the sport a long time.
Yeah, I think there's definitely, you're getting a lot more tradition now in the southwestern Ohio area. You know, coming from Northeast Ohio, where they had wrestling about 50 years before we even had wrestling down here in the southwestern Ohio area. I mean, we've made up a lot of ground, and I think we continue to narrow that gap.
So Casey looking to continue to control this match, get into the finals like his teammate Dustin Norris did.
We hope you're noticing our underwriters and sponsors of these weight classes. I'd like to thank Dan and Sarah Starkey for underwriting the 132-pound weight class. Dan wrestled at Princeton and was a wrestling coach and head football coach at Roger Bacon High School.
31-3, sophomore Chris Ernest. And from
End of the second period.
A two-time state placer with a record of 21.
Casey Wiles up 3-1.
Del Santer.
Casey on top.
Nice lift return by Casey Wiles.
You know, Jerry, we talk about iron sharpens iron. You know, it looks like we got Dustin, Casey, and then we got Jake Niffenegger, all from LaSalle, back-to-back coming into the semis. These guys probably train together in the wrestling room on a daily basis, so making each other better.
Yeah, absolutely. And I believe we have one more in there at 145. That would be Darnay Heard.
Absolutely, yep.
So we have 4 from LaSalle in the semis today. And Casey Wiles trying to be the second one to punch his ticket from LaSalle to the state finals. Very tight match right now with about 1 minute left. Casey Wiles up by 1 point, 3-2, in on a nice
shot.
Nice shot. See if we can finish here in bounds. Out of bounds.
I think KC's smart enough to know that, you know, he has to continue shooting even though he's winning by a point. He cannot back up. He can't get called for stalling. He needs to continue to keep the pressure to win this match.
Yeah, Van Dyke of Walsh Jesuit, I mean, again, he comes in with just 1 loss. So he seems to be very strong on his feet in the takedown situation also. Coming down to about 20 seconds left in the match. Let's see if Casey can continue to keep his foot on the throttle here. He's got to get his hips out.
Got to get his hips back. Nice job getting his hips back, sprawling, getting that whizzer in there. About 12 seconds left, winning by a point.
He's not been stalled He's not been warned for stalling yet, so I think he's in pretty good position. Here's the warning.
2 seconds
There's only
left.
2 seconds left. As long as he doesn't step directly backwards, he should be okay. He does a little side hop and holds on to the victory.
Awesome job there. So again, we got Dustin Norris in the finals for LaSalle. Casey Wiles following him into the finals as well. Another LaSalle wrestler coming up, Jake Niffenegger, 138 pounds.
27-4, senior Tyler Witterick, and from LaSalle High School with a record of 39-1, returning state runner-up, junior Jake Niffenegger.
Yep, Tyler Witterick is a senior from Payne, Riverside. Again, coming in against Jake Niffenegger. 2 years ago was a state runner-up.
I was actually talking with Jake's father last night, and I guess Jake is looking at the Army and Navy in terms of possible appointments of interest.
Yeah, Jake's a hard worker. I get a chance to go up to LaSalle and roll around with the guys in the summer with open mats, and Jake's one that will wrestle every minute of those open mats.
Let's try the head shuck. Nice head shuck again, almost got behind that time. Jake has very heavy hands on the head.
Yes, he does.
You know, that is a trademark of college wrestling, quite frankly.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. That's an essential element at the collegiate level now.
2-point takedown for Jake.
And the bigger they get, the harder they hit.
Some injury time here. Looks like he may have bumped his elbow a little bit.
Great cross coverage of the 2021 OHSAA Wrestling Tournament made possible by Dave Foster of Foster and Motley, Jeff Burkhoff's Old Coaches Association, Kent Smith of State Farm, La Roses of Cold Spring, Kentucky, Dan and Sarah Starkey, Greg Klein of Klein Residential, Steve Burke, Friends of Operation Give Back, Matt and Dominique Mercurio, Dr. Kevin Riley, Dr. Stephen Daly, and the Southwest Ohio Wrestling Coaches Association.
Looks like we're back at it here. 10 seconds left in the first period. Scored a 2-1. Woodbridge scored an escape here. Again, going into the second period, score of 2-1. Niffenegger on top.
Jake lets him up, gives up the 1 point, and gets back to work. Trying to get the takedown here. Start the second period.
And then sometimes we see those top wrestlers let them go to say, hey, I don't want to give up a reversal. I think I can take him down on my feet. I'm going to let him go. We're going to go on our feet, and I'm going to get that takedown.
So right now we're all locked up at 2-2. About a minute and a half left in the second period. Jake Niffenegger versus Tyler Wittrick from Riverside.
Good shot there for Jake. Just got to finish it here.
It's going to be a tough one to finish. Yep, stalemate. Sometimes when you're in, you split the legs like that, you know, the defensive wrestler just kind of pinches your head and holds it there and waits for the stalemate, because he knows it's tough to finish, and it's tough for him to actually get a takedown out of that situation.
Yeah, if you watch Jake here, man, he keeps the pressure on his opponent. Constantly banging the head, constantly taking shots, constantly moving forward.
Nice head inside single. Now he's got him in a situation here. Could get the fall. He's got a chance to reverse his half here. There it is, reverse his half.
292 from Perrysburg High School.
Drop his hips, arches back, hopefully get the fall here. There it is.
There we go.
And from
Nice.
Austintown Fitch High School with a record of 49-2.
That's a very impressive
Colin
win.
Roberts.
That's a great power win.
You know what? Pretty impressive for LaSalle. 3 guys
Yeah.
right in a row in the
3
state
for 3.
finals.
They just, you know, they rented, they just leased the chairs over there on mat 1, it seems.
Right.
From the coaching standpoint, it means you don't have to go too far.
Bring their own chairs.
Now up on mat 1, match 293.
We have another
From Westerville,
local wrestler in Division 3.
Junior
Pierce Taylor of
Connor
McNicholas
Newton.
is on the mat in the semifinals in Division 3.
Yeah, so we're watching mat 1 here. We got Connor Newton.
A senior
Came into the state tournament undefeated. He's 26-0, going up against Jack Haskin from Whitmer. He's at 33-1. Again, these guys coming into the state tournament with very few losses.
So on mat 2, right now we have a tight bout between Colin Roberts out of Austintown Fitch, coming in at, right now he's 49-2, and he's up against Joey Blaze, who's a sophomore from Perrysburg. And Perrysburg comes in, Joey Blaze of Perrysburg comes in at 43-0, so an undefeated wrestler.
43 wins in this season. Isn't that remarkable? You know, you consider we've got some guys in here in the state tournament with only 14 matches in.
Yep.
And then you've got this other thing. I know you talked about it before, but it is a truly unusual season.
Yeah, there's actually one wrestler in here who's undefeated, Mullins from Dayton Wayne. He has a record of, I believe it is 9-0.
Yeah.
I mean, 9 matches is all he's had this year.
Once in a while you find a guy get in here with that kind of a record who had an injury and, you know, didn't wrestle the whole season. These other things are, how many matches do you suppose were canceled during the season this year? Dual meets, and how many tournaments were canceled? It's remarkable.
Yeah, pretty amazing. You know, and I think it was, you know, a lot of times the coaches, how they could navigate of setting up duels and getting these kids in matches.
In case anybody's wondering, these are the semifinals coming to you from Darby High School in just outside Columbus, actually, in Hilliard. And these is all Division I. And we've been having some significant technical issues this morning. And thank goodness that Don Jones and Jerry Tischler are on the ball and managed to pick it up and keep going with it. So thank you, guys.
The pleasure is all ours, Dave.
We enjoy it.
Over on mat 2, it's 0-0, second period. Again, that's Joey Blaze of Perrysburg versus Cullen Roberts of Austintown Fitch.
And over on mat 1, again, a tight match at 4-2. Got Connor Houghton and Jack Haskin. Houghton, an 11th grader. Haskin, a senior. Again, these guys wrestling to punch their ticket into the state finals.
So right now on mat 2, so Jake Niffenegger just finished, and with his fall in the semifinals, made his trip to the state finals, but he's going to have the winner of this match on mat 2. So right now it's all tied up, 0-0, second period. You have Joey Blaze of Perrysburg at 43-0, and Colin Roberts of Austintown Fitch coming in at 49-2.
Again, tight match on mat 1, score 4-3 in the second period with about a minute left.
I gotta believe Jake Niffenegger is watching this match on mat 2. So he will have the winner in the finals.
Jerry, how much scouting do you get done at a tournament? How much scouting do you actually get done in a tournament situation?
Well, that's interesting. I think a lot of it depends on your wrestler and how your wrestler can adapt to a strategy change based on his opponent, right? So I know when we have wrestlers at the state tournament, one of my roles is to go out and scout the next round, his next opponent. But again, you have to be able to have a wrestler that's coachable and can make those last second adjustments. That's the whole benefit of the scouting.
Yeah, there's some guys that you just turn them loose and do what they do best.
Right, yeah.
But then, like you say, there are those that can accommodate a different style, and they can take advantage of that.
Yeah, it's interesting. Jonathan Jones, Cole Jones, he was a state champion for us at St. X, and his every match he had at district, and then every match he had at state, I had pre-scouted each of those individuals, and he actually was a wrestler that could adjust on the fly and make those technical adjustments to better match up his skill set with the person he's wrestling, and he netted out as a state champ as a result. So.
Well, it's my understanding you got to be pretty smart to go to St. X, so got a lot of smart kids over there.
Somehow I made it through.
Again, tight match on mat 1, 5-3. Again, these guys trying to win this semifinal match to get into the finals.
Joey Blaze up 1-0 with 1 minute left.
Once this match is finished on mat 2, we got a fourth LaSalle wrestler coming up. Pretty amazing. Darnay Heard coming up, he's a senior. Trying to be the fourth LaSalle wrestler to make it into the finals. Again, 53 seconds left in the third period on mat 1. Score of 5-3. Pretty amazing, Jerry. These two matches we're watching, all 4 guys pretty evenly matched.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really tight scores.
Watching this match on mat 2, and it looks like we do have a winner, and it is Joey Blaze of Perrysburg, who, again, is currently undefeated. He will battle Jake Niffenegger in the finals, and hopefully Jake will give him that first loss.
Absolutely.
Now up on mat
Looking
2,
at mat 1 here, about 10 seconds left to go in the match.
High School, a returning state placer with a record of 34-6, senior Darnay Heard. And from Elaria High School, with a record of 35-1, returning state placer Nate
Well,
Burnett.
the internet gods are not playing fair today. Out of Division 2 and Division 3, we're getting half of the brackets reported. Only the upper half of the brackets are being reported online at this point. So I can't begin to tell you what happened to a couple of our wrestlers that are out there competing for chances for a state championship in Division 2 or 3.
From Perrysburg High School with a record of 42.
So as we talked about on mat 2, Jerry, we got another LaSalle wrestler, Darnay Heard,
a senior with a record of 29
going up against Nate Burnett from Elyria.
State placer and returning state champion.
Yeah, Darnay Heard's really impressed me this year. He is constantly on the attack. I mean, he does not give you a lot of breathing room. As you see right now, he's after it, right?
Yeah, he's exciting to watch. You know, I know he had some injuries last year, so pretty healthy this year. Looking to get into the finals here.
Both he and Nate Burnett of Elyria, the wrestler that he's going up against, both are returning state placers.
Both guys won their respective districts as well last week.
We got about 35 seconds left in the first period. Darnay Heard of LaSalle up against Nate Burnett in the semifinals of the 145-pound weight class. Underwritten by Sarah and Dan Starkey, former Roger Bacon coach back in my day. Back in Dave's day also.
And a Princeton wrestler too. And Dan always points out he's a Princeton wrestler, and he's very proud of that fact.
So who was his coach?
Must have been Ron Cordini.
Oh.
Must have been. By the time Dan got there, it had to be Ron.
So we finished up this first period, score 0-0. Darnay Heard, LaSalle's going down. Burnett on top. Nice escape for Heard. Good hand control coming up.
He gets a critical first escape, which, as we know, in the state tournament, if you wind up going to the overtime period, and then the sudden death overtime, and then the final ultimate tiebreaker where it's ride or die, the person who scored the first point gets to choose if he wants up or down. So a lot of times you find that is a critical decision in a lot of these very close state matches.
Good wrestling here, good wrestling.
Darnay keeps trying to draw his opponent back to the center of the mat so he can go on his flurry of attacks.
Good defense there.
A lot of head positioning going on here.
Good defense here by Heard.
Only about 20 seconds left here. He's in on the shot. Oh.
You know, Jerry, one thing you find with these awesome wrestlers, they're not only are they quick, but they're strong. I mean, they have the full package.
Oh, yeah. I'm always impressed when I come to the state tournament, you know, in terms of just how strong the competitors are. But you're right. I mean, they have the technique, they have the strength, they have the endurance. That's what it takes to be a state place or a state champion in the state of Ohio.
So Heard escaped beginning of that second period, no takedown. So Heard goes into the third period winning 1-0.
It's going to be interesting to see how long he can ride him here, or if at some point he decides to kick him and go takedowns.
I'm glad you pointed out earlier that there's been a lot more top position wrestling by the kids in Southwest Ohio, especially at LaSalle. I think they've really done a great job of their top position and being able to control. That's what's so successful in college, but you know from experience that that's been the issue among our kids up here at the state tournament for several years.
Yeah, as I mentioned, yeah, we talked to Dustin Norris last week at districts, and he says they've been working quite a bit on controlling the match on top, not letting that wrestler go, being able to ride him out for 2 minutes.
I'd like to take this time to thank our medical staff.
And I guess he decided to go ahead and win it by takedown.
Thad Maple from Hilliard Darby High School, along with our doctors, Steve Daly,
Yeah,
Kevin
real tight
Riley,
match here.
Dr. Randy Roble.
About a minute, coming down to a minute left in the third period. So yeah, it's going to come down to a takedown here. All the points of this match been with escapes.
.42 seconds. All knotted up here, 1-1. The 145-pound semifinals. Nate Burnett of Elyria versus Darnay Heard from LaSalle. Nice shot.
A nice shot. Nice takedown.
Nice. He's got it right tight for about 25 more seconds. I don't believe Darnay's been warned for stalling, has he?
I don't think he has.
So he does have that he can give up if he needs to.
Yep, got about 15 seconds. Winning by a point. His goal is to stay in the middle of the mat here. Have good defense.
Right as time ran out, referees discussing if there was a takedown, and there is no takedown.
That was close.
That was very, very close.
Darnay Heard with the victory. Coach trying to contest it. But it looks like the head referee already conferred with the assistant referee, and they agreed that there was no takedown prior to time running out or going out of bounds.
Yeah, Heard had that whizzer in pretty good there.
Yeah, he did. Yep. You know, we didn't have a state. Here's your replay.
Match 296, 152 pounds on mat 2.
We didn't have
From
a
St. Edward
state
High School,
dual
record of
tournament this year,
17-7,
and so the
junior
state
Evan Bennett.
team rankings
And from
play
Wayne High
an even
School,
bigger
a
role
returning
than
state
normal.
placer with a
It's
record of
interesting
10-0,
here in
senior
Division I.
Dustin Mullins.
At this point, St. Ed's has 114 points. In second is LaSalle with 77.
We'll go ahead and take a look at our sponsors.
Waycross coverage of the 2021 OHSAA Wrestling Tournament made possible by Dave Foster of Foster and Motley, Jeff Burkhoff's Old Coaches Association, Kent Smith of State Farm, La Rosa's of Cold Spring, Kentucky, Dan and Sarah Starkey, Greg Klein of Klein Residential, Steve Burke, Friends of Operation Give Back, Matt and Dominique Mercurio, Dr. Kevin Riley, Dr. Stephen Daly, and the Southwest Ohio Wrestling Coaches Association.
So right now on mat 2, we have out of the Kettering-Fairmont district, we have Austin Mullins. Austin wrestles for Wayne High School. He's a senior, and he comes in with a record of 10-0 right now. So one of the wrestlers who did not get a lot of matches in this season, but sometimes that can work out for you, Don. You know, in terms of you're a bit fresher, you're not as banged up, and so hopefully that winds up being, his scenario. And he's going against Evan Bennett from Lakewood St. Ed's, and Evan, again, not a whole lot of matches either. He's at 17-7, so 7 losses, finishing as a runner-up out of the Perrysburg district. And right now, Mullins is up 2-1, starting the second period.
Yeah, I think sometimes you get a ton of matches in, your body's banged up, potential for injury, and I think these guys who are coming in with perhaps less matches, although they may not be as battle-tested, they're nice and fresh, as you mentioned.
Yeah, I had a kid way back in 1981, and he blew a knee out in October, actually at St. Xavier, and he didn't get on the mat until January 5th that year, and went all the way through from that point on, didn't lose another match, and won the state championship. And actually, I think that was one of the reasons. He was fresh. He was ready to go. And a lot of other guys were, as you mentioned, Don, he was hurt. They were hurting. Not seriously, but hurting enough that you don't have the gas in the tank anymore.
Yeah.
Greg Keller.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk about college wrestling, how it's such a long season.
Oh, yeah.
There's been a lot of discussion about how do we maybe make that shorter, make it a shorter season.
The gates for all fans will open at 4 p.m.
So on mat 2, again, we have Mullins all knotted up with Bennett of Lakewood St. Ed's. 2 all.
At 4 p.m. Thank you.
Yeah, and looking over at mat 1, Gallagher, again, returning state champ in control, winning the match 4-2. Looks like end of first period there. Against Uri from Olmsted Falls.
Uri actually came in as a 4th place finisher in his district out of the Perry district. Gallagher being the champion of that district. So this is probably maybe a rematch of maybe their quarterfinal or semifinal match from districts.
Yeah, and talking about Gallagher, he's one of those nationally ranked guys. I believe he's Ohio State commit.
Oh, is he?
Yep, so tough competitor there.
Nice. Nice throw by. Back at mat 2. Start of the third period. Again, all knotted up at 2-2. Mullins from Wayne versus Bennett of Lakewood St. Ed's. How many St. Ed's wrestlers are in the semis? Anybody get a count on that?
Quite a few. Quite a few. You know, I think LaSalle, you know, much like St. Ed's, you know, they're in the room and they're battling every day in practice. And again, iron sharpens iron. So.
Right, exactly.
And I think, you know, Jerry, the thought is, hey, if my teammate's winning, I'm going to win. You know,
right. Yep. If that's who you're practicing with every day, day in, day out, and got a replay coming up here.
Yeah, looking at mat 1 here, Gallagher really in charge of this match. 10-point lead at 13-3 with 20 seconds left in just the second period.
Mat 2, Mullins trying to hang on. Bennett is in on a deep shot, potentially dangerous. And they're going to restart.
See Mullins there, he's pretty built, isn't he?
Yes.
Lifts some weights every now and then.
Yeah, probably once or twice, yeah.
And you know,
Here's a replay on the right box. And we're back, so right now on mat 2, looks like there's a little bit of blood time.
that's like,
Yeah, we're back on mat 1 here. Gallagher really in charge of
About 45 seconds left. All right. So again, a tight match with Mullins and Bennett on mat 2. 3-2 right now, Mullins up. It's got about 30 seconds left. I don't believe there's been any warnings for stalling, so Mullins trying to fight off the takedown, and we got the replay, and the takedown secured by Bennett of St. Ed's, which puts him now up 4-3, and now 16 seconds left. Mullins will need to get out and escape here.
mat
It's
1.
Granby.
Mat 1, match 299. From
This is a tough ride to break.
a senior with
He's
a
got the
record
leg
of
in.
30-2.
He's got a crab ride
Liber.
on top.
And from Wadsworth, a senior.
that was
Wow.
it actually was an excellent ride because Mullins did everything he could to get out of there. That was good wrestling. That was great mat wrestling.
Wow. I would call that an upset.
Yep.
There's a replay on the right box. That was a shock. I did not expect Mullins to lose in the semis.
Now wrestling on mat 2 at 100.
Yes, we just had two back-to-back St. Ed's guys make it into the finals. So
15-1, Derek Fields.
They brought all 14 weights in this year.
A returning state
yeah, they were solid up there in Cleveland.
with a record of 33-1, senior Enrique Mangaya.
Yeah, on mat 1 we have Logan Messer from Wadsworth. He came into the state tournament at 35-1, so he's 37. and 1. He's going up against Connor Liber from Sylvania Northview. Came into the state tournament at 28-2, so he's 30-2. Real tight match there at 2-1. About 15 seconds left in the first period.
Over here on mat 2, we have Enrique Gia from Elyria. Comes in at 34-1. He's a senior. And he is going against Derek Fields from Brunswick, who is 15-1. Both actually are out of the Perry district. So one finishing second, one finishing third.
Yeah, on mat 1, Messer and Liber, both seniors. So again, last shot to get into the finals, last shot of their high school career to win a state title. But they got to win this match to get into the finals.
Right now we're starting the second period on mat 2 at the 160-pound semifinal match between Enrique Mungia from Elyria versus Derek Fields of Brunswick. And right now it is Mungia who is down on the bottom, but he's actually up in the match. He's winning 2-0.
Yep, we're in the second period on the mat 1 as well, with Messer getting an escape and winning the match right now 3-1.
Thank you.
Right now a pretty tight crab ride by Derek Fields. And just no sooner did I speak, and then he got reversed by Enrique Mungia from Elyria. Enrique going for the tilt. Sometimes on that tilt, you got to watch your own back.
That's right.
You don't want to give up a defensive pin. I have seen it happen.
So have I.
Bit of a scramble here now. But I believe, yep, Enrique did get the 2-point near fall.
Mat 1 here, Messer and Liber. Messer again still winning 3-1. About 15 seconds left in the second period.
Got a replay on mat 1 here. Box right replay. We're back to live now. Couple of tight matches here, although not as tight on mat 2 with Enrique Mungia from Elyria, currently up 6-1 over Derek Fields from Brunswick.
Yeah, on mat 1 we got Messer from Wadsworth winning 3-1 over Liber, riding tough on top.
It's kind of interesting. I'm looking at the 160-pound weight class, which is on mat 2 semis. I'm looking at the matchups, and these two met probably last week at the Perrysburg district because they finished second and third. And then it looks like in the other bracket, Gallagher from Lakewood St. Ed's, who comes in undefeated, and he was the champion of the Perry district. So we may have an all Perry final here.
Tells you how tough that district is
Yeah.
in that weight
Exactly.
class.
How about the sectionals? How about the sectionals?
Yeah, the sectional one. I do know that Lakewood St. Ed's had 14 wrestlers in the finals of sectionals, and they won 12 of those 14 matches. So pretty impressive.
You know, talking about St. Ed's, I know some wrestlers that wrestled for them, really good wrestlers, but never made the varsity lineup.
Yeah.
And were good B-team guys that could potentially be a state placer.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I know numerous times they would have one of the starters get injured at the end of the year, and then the backup would come in and wind up winning state, you know?
Success breeds success, doesn't it?
That's right.
Yep.
Mat 1, Messer's your winner, heading to the finals from Wadsworth with a winning score of 3-1.
Match 301, 182 pounds.
Got about 38 seconds left here on Mat 2.
Returning state placer with a record of 47.
Score of 6-1.
And from Mason High School with a record of 30-0, senior Ombergie.
Again, about 30 seconds left on Mat 2. Score is 6-2.
Over on mat 1, we have the 182-pound semifinals. We have the battle of two undefeateds. So we have Owen Ombergie from Mason, comes in 30-0. He's a senior. Right now he's in on the body lock. And he goes against another undefeated wrestler, Salvatore Parene, who is a senior from Macedonia, Nordonia, who is 47-0. So you got a replay now on the right box. So right now, all tied up. 1 minute into the first period. Score 0-0. Up, Ombergie
from St. Edward with a record of
thought he was in on a Merkel, but went out of bounds, unfortunately.
Oh, and again, another one of those wrestlers. I remember he was 5, 6, 7-year-old running around the wrestling room doing youth wrestling. So well experienced.
Looks like we have I'm not sure what the call that's being questioned. Maybe the out of bounds call. Coach maybe wanted the takedown. Got about 35 seconds left in the first period. You know, both wrestlers almost a chess match, you know, in terms of not really being able to get the ultimate takedown that they're looking for. A lot of good defense by both wrestlers. Body lock again. Seems like both these wrestlers like the body lock.
Yeah.
Boy,
there's a good scramble.
For a guy that big, Ombergie is very quick.
Nice shot, reshot.
I know being around the Mason program, they got plaques on the wall, all the state champs, and I know Ombergie would love to get his picture up on that wall.
There's a good example where we talk about guys being just a little bit dinged as they come here into the tournament. Ombergie is taking a little bit of a time. That knee is bothering him. He came in with the brace on, or the sleeve. I'm not sure which it is. But whatever it is, it's bothering him significantly. Coach Maffey is out there. He's obviously concerned.
Yeah, Ombergie made it through the first 2 rounds of this tournament pretty good. 9-0 major decision, his first match, and then a pin over Hudson Hightower of St. Ed's in the quarters. So
that's such a big thing to get your head around. Is wrestling a Northeastern kid, you know, and I think you mentioned this earlier, Don. The fact that we still are laboring under this image that the Northeast breeds Supermen or something. And Jerry, you know very well that we have kids down here that'll go toe-to-toe with them all the time. It's just that sometimes it's a level of confidence.
Right. Yeah, I think just the tradition of being at this tournament, placing and winning, you know, does a lot for your confidence as being a part of that team or that legacy program. And I think you're right. I think, you know, we do have exceptional athletes that come in and exceptional wrestlers that do win state titles. But the numbers, when you compare to Northeast Ohio, are a bit smaller.
Yeah. You know, there was an interesting thing. I can remember back in the day when Dan Gable got injured in the Nationals one time, and he came out, he was all taped up, heavily taped up, and everybody thought, oh, he's really bad on that leg. And collegiate wrestlers don't care if you're hurt. They're going to go after that, whatever's hurt. And they just hammered away at that taped knee. As it turned out, he taped the opposite knee.
It's a good story. Yeah, in the second period here, Ombergie got that escape, so winning 1-0. And as Jerry mentioned, yeah, you want to get that escape, get that first point.
And it looks like
we got blood time
blood
on
time
top
now.
of.
Looks like a nosebleed. Salvatore Perrine, Nordonia. Looks like they're trying to stop the nosebleed.
I'm very impressed with Coach Maffey. I remember when he first started coaching at Northwest High School, we covered that. Waycross covered his first meet. And the job he did there, he began to establish a successful program. And I've watched him ever since. And every place he's been, he has added to what's going on.
Sure has.
And I think he's doing the same thing. Mason was already way up at the top of the pile. But Coach Maffey, I think, is not only maintaining that tradition, but I think he's going to build on it.
I believe you're right. You know, he was at Middletown prior to Mason and did a nice job up there.
Right.
Then he was at Hamilton Baden, you know, even before that.
Yeah, that's right.
I know he's got another coach in his corner there, Bo Torres, and Bo is obviously no stranger to the state finals in Ohio, having won a state title here and then went on to wrestle with Ohio State.
Uh-oh.
Good defense there by Ombergie.
You talk about working on that knee, Dave. There you go.
There it is, right there. If you're going to shoot,
we're going to go to the replay here.
Get on that injured knee.
Now we're back live. Camera 2.
You know what it's like to compete when you're injured, right, Jerry?
Yeah, I've done that most of my life. every day when I get up to go to work, I feel those prior injuries.
Yep.
And I think Ombergie's mindset has to be, hey, I got 2.5 minutes to work through this pain to get into the finals.
Oh yeah.
And that's his goal right now. End of the second period.
Now we're going to see if he can ride out Salvatore Perrine here. We have another stop because of blood. I tell you, Ombergie's he's very tall.
He is.
He is tall.
He's very tall. He's got long arms. You noticed that the very first time he came out and almost got into a body lock or a bear hug just because his arms are so long. The only thing that prevented the takedown was the out-of-bounds line.
Yeah.
82 pounds.
He definitely has leverage.
Valley with a record of 40-1, sophomore Camden McDaniel. And from Elyria High School, a returning state placer with a record of 37-1, senior Jake Evans.
Good ride by Ombergie. I think his goal is to ride him as long as he can.
Yep. Try
to ride him out the whole 2 minutes. If not, they'll be on their feet.
It's going to be a tough 2 minutes here.
Yes, it is.
If he's going to ride him.
He wants to throw the leg, but that leg doesn't, I don't think, wants to cooperate. And that's a hard place to get away from. There's a lot of pain that can be exerted on the knee right there.
Yeah, absolutely. He's doing a nice job, though, here, riding that half.
Pressure
almost a crab
forward.
ride to a half.
Keep the guy's head down.
Spiraling it out.
Yeah.
And he did just get hit, warned for stalling.
That's the tough thing. Not only do you have to ride him, but you have to ride him without getting called for stalling or not locking hands.
Yeah, so he was called there because he was hip to hip for too long. He's got to come off the hips. Whereas in college, you can ride hip to hip because you get riding time, so they don't really call stalling on top that often. Almost a step over. Ombergie recovers well.
You know, and he's working toward getting some back points here. Wouldn't that be awesome to get 2 or 3 back points here and really take charge of this match?
Yeah. Uh-oh, that's the last thing that he needed right there. Well, at least he got off his back. Oh, he got the 2.
That's what happens, you know, and so instead of giving up 1, he gave up 2 in that situation.
Got a little too high.
Got a minute and a half.
He's only got about 20 seconds. He's got to get moving here, and right now he's having a hard time getting off the mat.
A whole career is dependent right now on a minute and 5 seconds.
Here comes a replay. We'll see that reversal.
Thank goodness it's the other guy that's bleeding, because it would be hard for Ombergie to be getting this much time out, even with the bad knee.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, and there's only 12 seconds left.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. He's still.
Yeah, and his goal is right off the whistle, 12 seconds left. I got to stand up.
I got to get out. I got to score.
He's got a flurry.
I'm sorry, I misread the scoreboard.
That's all right, Dave. We'll let you slide.
It's getting old.
Beats the alternative.
This is my 54th state tournament.
Wow.
I've been here longer than you've been alive, Jerry, right?
No, I'm 60.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, close.
Ombergie trying to get one. Oh.
Awesome match there. Ombergie comes up a little short.
Well, there's a reason why they were both undefeated. I think we just saw. They're both very comparable.
Ombergie at least is in a position he can come back. He's still going to get something out of this whole thing, and I suspect. How about this as a job, coaching-wise? Don, Jerry, either one of you. You have a guy who's got his world surrounding the idea of being the champion. He loses in the semifinals. What do you do when he's got to come back in a few hours to wrestle for a different position? How do you deal with that?
Well, you got to be very short-sighted, in terms of at the state wrestling tournament, because every match, can be your last, right? I mean, it's they're in the placement rounds here, obviously, but as we just saw, he had not lost all year, and then, his hips just got a little bit too high. He gets reversed, but he got reversed by a quality wrestler also. I mean, there's not a lot of differentiation between a lot of these wrestlers at this level, but they got to come back when you suffer a tough loss like that. You got to have your moment, where you feel bad, and then you got to slough it off and move on to the next match.
Yeah, and I think, you got to go back in the corner after the match, shake it out. You got to talk to your wrestler and say, hey, can't change the past. We got to move forward. Let's come back and get third place.
Right. Yep.
Be the best you can be.
Programs are still for sale. The Ohio High School State Championships in the Commons area, all state qualifiers, state champion history, and other features. Pick one up today.
We on mat 1 right now. So mat 1, we got one of our Southwest Ohio wrestlers. We got Marvelous Rutledge.
What a great name. Right. What a great name. Marvelous. I love it.
Yeah, he's got a tough competitor in Seth Shoemate from Dublin Coughlin. Seth came into the state tournament at 26-1. Marvelous came in undefeated. He's at 23-0. Shoemate winning this match right now 4-0 with about 30 seconds left in the first period. Yeah, but you talk about Marvelous, that's an awesome name, especially in the wrestling community.
Who's the boxer? Marvelous Marvin Hagler?
Yep. We mentioned that last week, yep.
Did I see he just passed away? Is that who I saw? No? All right, now we're going to show both mats, semis.
Talking about that first mat here, Shoemate goes down, Marvelous goes on top. Shoemate winning this match right now 4-0, beginning of the second period.
On the mat 2, we actually have a tight match. It's now 4-0 with, it looks like, Tees Valley, which is Camden McDaniel, who is 40-1 coming into the tournament here. And he's up against Jake Evans from Elyria, who is 37-1. So should be a very tight, highly contested bout here. It looks like did Marvelous just get tilted up over there? He did get the escape.
Yep, finally get his first points on the board at losing 6-1. I know Shoemate from Dublin Coughlin's one of those nationally ranked guys as well. So,
oh, is he
coming into the state tournament as a really one of the top wrestlers in the country?
Well, he's really not been contested. You know, pinning his first round bout in 18 seconds, and then
look,
tech fall in his second match.
A great counter to a duck under there. Marvelous ended up being taken down when I know he thought he had a takedown himself.
I see Shoemate's only a junior.
Yeah, so he'll get another year to come back to the state tournament. There's a nice tilt.
Battling for the takedown on mat 2. I tell you, when these wrestlers get their leg put that high, replay on mat 2 here, when that leg gets so high, it's I'm amazed they don't tear a groin muscle, quite frankly.
Yeah.
So tech fall. Shoemate over Marvelous.
Match 304.
Rutledge.
195 pounds on mat 1.
Yeah, tough match. So Rutledge, Marvelous had to come back and, again, come back and take third place. Shake it off, come back.
And from Wadsworth High School, a returning state placer.
Get into that third place match and take third.
Senior John List.
So now we're going back on live action here on mat 2. 4-1 currently. McDaniel from Tees Valley over Jake Evans of Elyria. Currently 4-1 bout. Third period, 1 minute left.
Yeah, Elyria is always one of those teams vying for, you know, top 5 team in the state. Seems like every year.
About 30 seconds left here on mat 2. McDaniel seems to be in control of this match. Up 4-1. He's tying up the wrist. He's got a head block. I think he's going to be tough to beat at this point.
Yes, he is.
And it's over. So your winner at the 182-pound semifinal, Camden McDaniel from Tees Valley over Jake Evans from Elyria.
Crazy thing is he's just a sophomore. 2 more years to get back here. Unbelievable.
Yeah, that is the crazy thing. So coming up on mat 2, we have one of our local Fairfield wrestlers.
225 pounds, match 305. From Groveport, Madison, with a record of 16-0, a senior, Jake Nelson. And from Fairfield High School, with a record of 32-3, senior, Brandon Smith.
Mat 1, there is, looks like they're starting the second period.
Yeah, Brandon Smith's the senior. Again, you guys probably remember the tradition Fairfield's had in Cincinnati over the years.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like Brandon Smith of Fairfield, it looks like he's got a tall order though. Jake Nelson, the champion out at the Hilliard Darby district, he is currently undefeated at 16-0, having pinned his way through the tournament so far. So it's pretty impressive at this level.
For the next round, round 5, consolation semifinals will be wrestled on mats 1, 2, and 3 only.
Yeah, tight match so far with
Mat 1, 2,
about 45 seconds left in the first period, no score. We talked about it last week, you know, these heavier guys, heavier weights, man, they're built. You know, and I remember back in my day, you know, you had some big guys, but they weren't muscular. And so you look at these 220s and heavyweights coming up, man, they put their time in the weight room.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I started out as a football coach in high school, and I was looking for something for our big guys to do over the winter rather than just bang and iron. And so we started a wrestling program, and that was one of the first things we noticed is that we got the big guys from the football team. We got them on the mat. They improved their personal physique, their strength, and their agility, and it made it all that it turned the world around for so many of them. And yet I still know of high school football coaches that oppose the sport, and I just it just confuses me no end that they don't see that they ought to come here and watch these guys. You know, there are some who are ahead of the game and understand it, but boy,
Yeah, you
too
want to
many.
say to those football coaches, Google the number of NFL football players that
that's
wrestled.
true.
And
Yeah.
it's,
Right.
it's in the
Yeah.
hundreds.
Yeah.
When you talk about heavyweight, where do you see Bradley Weaver from Hilliard Darby? Where do you see him?
Yeah.
He reminds me of the Rocky movie with the Russian,
Yeah.
I must break you. I mean, the guy is chiseled,
Yeah.
and he's been pinning his way through the tournament himself, and he's undefeated this year. So that'll be
And
that'll
he's
be a fun one
wrestling.
to watch.
He's wrestling at home.
Yeah, right. That'll be a fun to watch.
Again, Smith from Fairfield winning this match 1-0. About 40 seconds left in the second period. You know, his goal is to work toward a takedown here.
I see it this way, class at 220. There were actually two alternates that made it in.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yep, the very first two right here.
Yeah, we talk about that, how
Okay.
important that fifth place match is at districts. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
I think some coaches take it serious. Some wrestlers may say, hey, I'm not going to make it to states, but you never know.
Right.
The week leading up could be not making weight, an injury, and all of a sudden you're in the state tournament.
Well, and it was so crazy at districts in the Kettering-Fairmount district. You know, essentially, if you're an alternate, a district alternate, you drove up and you waited
Yeah.
out in your car,
Yeah.
and you could not go in to the site
Right.
unless you were called in, which meant you actually got to get in the tournament as an alternate. And if they didn't call you, you just turned your car back on and you drove back home because you weren't allowed to go in and watch the tournament
Yeah.
either. You know, some of the craziness of this COVID season.
Yeah, it's been a tough year. Well, we're in the third period here. We've seen it quite a bit here in the semis, 1-1 going into the third period. And
Yep.
it's going to come down to perhaps a takedown here in regulation to win this match.
Nice body lock
Nice,
there.
nice. He
He
got his
the
two.
takedown. Yep. Wow, that was critical. 1 minute left. Now we got a replay. Got a body lock to secure the takedown. That's Brandon Smith. And here's a replay.
On mat one, about 306, 220
Nice job.
pounds from Mass
Coach trying to
Level
contest
High
it, but
School with a
really
record
nothing
of
to contest at this
31-2.
point.
Junior Logan Shepard, and from Olentangy Liberty High School with a record of 32-4, a sophomore, Dylan Russo.
And we got the escape. Jake Nelson. Now it's back to a 1-point match. Brandon Smith of Fairfield currently up 3-2. 40 seconds left in the semifinal match. The winner, of course, punching his ticket to the finals of the Division I OHSAA state tournament.
You know, Brandon's goal is to stay aggressive,
He's
not
got to
get
watch
called.
the head and arm here.
Yep, not get called for stalling and continue to be aggressive and wrestle smart here.
You know, Jake Nelson trying to load up a throw here, but Brandon's got his hips back. Smart, kept him back.
Nice, another 2
Gets the
points.
takedown, and now he's getting near fall points.
Awesome. So we got another one of our Southwest guys in the finals.
I don't know why I didn't award near fall points here, but anyway.
On mat 2, match 307, 285
Awesome for Fairfield.
Nice, that's
from
great.
Boardman with a record of 49-3, senior Jake Powell. And
Now
from
he's
Hilliard
actually
Darby High School
going to have
with a record
the
of
winner
30-0, senior Bradley
on mat
Weaver.
1 here. So on mat 2, this is the match I was talking about, Dave. The heavyweight from Hilliard Darby, Bradley Weaver.
Yeah, here we go.
You talk about, you know, an NFL type body.
Boy,
And he can
that's
wrestle.
a big guy.
And he can wrestle.
That's a big man.
Over on mat 1, we actually have the other 220 semifinal bout between Dylan Russo of Olentangy versus Logan Shepard, Maslon Perry.
Yeah, it's amazing how built these 220 and heavyweight guys are. As we mentioned, I don't doubt a lot of these guys are football players as well. Again, both these matches, guys trying to punch their ticket to the finals. Working toward winning a state title.
So right now on mat 2, we have the 285 semifinal match. About 15 seconds left in the first period. There is no score, no takedown, no points so far between Bradley Weaver of Hilliard Darby and Jake Powell of Boardman, Youngstown
He's the
Boardman.
big guy. He is big. How tall is he?
I don't know, but we're kind of watching him this tournament. It's fun to watch. He's not one of those heavyweights that just kind of hang out, right?
Right.
He's actively trying to hit his takedowns and technique.
He's one of those guys so big, you know, you wonder, hey, is he going to pick wrestling or football going to college?
Well, he's a senior. I'd be interested to know if he committed anywhere for either football or wrestling.
I'm sure he's going somewhere. If he isn't, I want to go find out why, because that's a dominant physical characteristic.
Two very close matches on mat 1. We have a 1-0 score right now. That's a 220 semifinal bout, the winner of which Brandon Smith of Fairfield will have in the finals later on today. That bout right now in the second period, about halfway through. 1-0. Dylan Russo, Olentangy Liberty. Olentangy, sorry about that.
That's where my grandsons went to Olentangy Liberty.
You know, look at Russo again. We talk about younger guys. I mean, he's a 10th grader. So again, he's in the semis of the state tournament, and then he's got 2 more years of high school remaining. So pretty unbelievable. I think
it's kind of hard to believe that puts him at what, 16 years old, roughly?
Yep. You know, I think years ago, you know, a lot of the heavier guys were seniors. You know, 11th and 12th graders.
Yeah.
Now you're finding,
Yeah.
you know, these 9th and 10th graders are coming in, like we always say, ready to win a state title.
Yeah.
Because they've been wrestling since they've been young.
Over on mat 2, it looks like Bradley Weaver's doing a nice job in terms of riding out Jake Powell, Boardman. I think that could wind up being the difference maker in this match, you know, because Weaver will obviously take down in the third period. Can't afford to give up an escape here, though. He did get warning for stalling because he did not take him back down. Did not try to attempt to take him back down to the mat, so he did get warned for stalling.
Yeah, down on mat 1, Russo got reversed by Shepard. So Shepard up third period, 2-1 right now.
Bradley Weaver almost effortlessly gets his escape to lead the mat 1 zip.
Some good wrestling down here on mat 1.
Nice takedown by Bradley Weaver on mat 2.
Russo takes, on mat 1, Russo takes the lead with, just scored 2 points here, so he's up by a point, 3-2 now, with about a minute left to go in the third period.
Weaver pretty much just choosing to ride. Now he's got a nice bar in. Let's see if he can get a turn here, or before it becomes potentially dangerous, and it became potentially dangerous. The elbow got a little bit locked in there. So we'll replay that. On the right is a replay. At 2, we have 1 minute left in the 285-pound semifinal match. Bradley Weaver of Hilliard Darby currently up 3-0 over Jake Powell of Youngstown Boardman. Bradley Weaver pretty much just dominating in terms of riding.
On mat 1, overtime.
Yeah, down here on mat 1, Russo was in trying to get a takedown, no takedown, so we're going into overtime. 1 minute, that first period of overtime. Both guys trying to score a takedown to win it. Russo's in on a shot.
Nice tilt on mat 2 by Bradley Weaver and Hilliard Darby.
The little crowd there is on mat 1 cheering pretty good for Russo. He got the takedown with about 30 seconds into the overtime to win his semifinals match.
And then Bradley Weaver, the winner on bout 2, the semifinal match.
Match 308, 200.
So again, Russo being a sophomore heading into the state finals.
With a record of 35-0, junior Ethan Green. And from Massillon Perry with a record of 32-1, freshman Aiden Faulkner.
Look at Ethan. Look at Ethan Green. He's pretty built too. Big guy.
Yeah, Ethan Green, yes, from Fremont Ross, coming in at 32-0, and he's a junior. He's going against Adam Faulkner, who's a freshman from Massillon Perry, who's 32-1.
This will be the last match of the semis here.
Ethan Green from Fremont Ross. Currently, actually, who is red? Yeah, we got the red ankle band. I'm not sure which wrestler had it on.
I saw a Green come off out there, but
yeah,
maybe
looks like Green is Ethan Green's the red ankle band.
Green is red.
That always works.
Ethan Green from Fremont Ross. The got to put a plug in for my good friend Paul Branco, who passed away last year.
Yeah.
Wrestling official for years.
Right.
At the sectional district and state level. He was inducted in the OHSAA Hall of Fame
right.
Wrestling. Most recently this past a year ago, so about a year and a half ago.
Yeah, he was one of those guys that he fought every match to call it correctly and to be fair. You know, that's a tough job those officials have.
Yeah, absolutely. He was the official that trained all the new officials too. So he really knew his stuff, and honestly a great friend, and is sorely missed.
Years back, after the first night of the state tournament on Thursday nights, we used to get together for dinner with a lot of the officials, and Paul was always included in that group, and it was, you know, he was the kind of a guy you wanted to be around. You enjoyed being around him. We've lost some wonderful people in this business.
Absolutely, and in addition, a great husband and family man, great father too, and grandfather.
And I think, you know, every year they talk about a shortage of officials. You know, a lot of the young people out there, you know, don't want to officiate. They have things going on the weekends, and it takes a lot of dedication to be an official referee.
Well, and it's not easy. I mean, I actually officiated for 15 years, and, you know, it's there's a lot of judgment calls, and you put judgment calls, you know, on the line when, you know, time is expiring and they're going out of bounds, and you got to make that call, right? And you got to make the best call you can, and a lot of times it's just that feeling of control you get, you know, from a lot of them having been former wrestlers, but if not former wrestlers, just from officiating and getting the feel of when is control actually established, or when is an escape or loss of control actually established.
Way back in the ancient days, way back in the ancient days, back in the 70s, there were so few officials. Virtually half of the coaches in the city had our referee license. We had to. There weren't enough refs. And I'll second that idea you were talking about, Jerry, about how difficult it is. I was working a dual meet between St. Xavier and Fairfield. We had Dick Murphy and Ron Masani as the head coaches. And I had a match where there was stalling going on. Now, you can't imagine who might have been stalling that was playing the mat edge and things like that. But making that call was one of the hardest things. Good example of not getting his feet in the right place quick enough.
Yep, take
got
that.
Driven straight back.
Faulkner looking to get some.
Wow.
But making that
points
call,
and a pin here.
Making that call was one of the hardest things I ever had to do. And then to hear the coaches get into it over the call was even more fun. Well, it wasn't fun at the time.
I'm going to take a wild guess and guess that the call went against St. X.
No.
Oh, good. All right.
Not playing
thanks,
the
Dave.
mat edge.
Thank you, Dave.
Yeah, good one, Jeff.
So Faulkner with those back points really taking command of this.
Yeah.
To this match, 7-3 in the third period here.
And he's only a freshman.
It's unbelievable.
So last year he was an 8th grader. This year he's in the. He's got a shot to be state champion. High school state champion.
And if you guys follow it, that OAC junior high state tournament, it's as tough as they come. You know, that 7th and 8th grade junior high state tournament, one division. And a lot of these guys have been junior high state champs as they come into high school.
Right there, a warning for stalling against Adam Faulkner, Maslon Perry.
Now, you know, there's all kinds of complaints about the head block. And here's a good example of how the head block works really effectively. And yet, there's a split attitude on it. Can you block with the head on the shoulder? Or is that stalling? And that's an argument that's gone around for a long time. But you better have something to block off with, especially when there's that much size differential.
Yep.
Yeah, you definitely have to have an effective head block, but there actually is a point where
it becomes a
it's stalling. And,
right.
Yeah. When you're using it just to impede wrestling, then it becomes stalling.
About 30 seconds left in this match. Actually, 20
one
seconds.
Stalling point. He's down by 3 points here, so he's probably going to go for a throw at this point. He's probably going to have to.
He's been trying to get into the double unders and to use his leverage unsuccessfully. Yeah, that's the way he got taken down before. He tried to throw and got driven on his back.
Yep.
Took a shot with the nose, it looks like, too.
Maslon Perry ends up winning this. The beauty of that win is he has an opportunity as a 9th grader to be a four-time state champ.
Right.
Well,
guys, we've reached the end of this round, and I'd like you to put away some thoughts, because I'm going to come back to you for some thoughts about this round after I do a couple things here. I want to thank the volunteers, the technical crew of Jason Dudley, Rich Dudley, Jake Jacobson, Kent Lips, Jonathan Palmer, our announcers, Don Jones and Jerry Tischler, and most of all, the production coordinator and truck driver, Tony Suarez. Jerry, what did you think about the semifinals?
I would say I was very impressed with LaSalle High School. LaSalle came out firing on all cylinders. They were aggressive. They were tough on top in terms of riding. And as a result, they netted out 4 out of 4 in the finals.
Don?
I'm going to echo what Jerry said. I was impressed with 4 guys from LaSalle, back to back to back to back, make it into the finals. And again, we talk about, hey, not being worried about who you're wrestling.
No.
They came, and they're all 4 in the finals.
Just a few teams are ranked anywhere in the team race. LaSalle's in 2nd. Mason is down around 15th. Moeller is currently standing at 25th. And then it's Little Miami and Lakota West. And the rest of the guys are not doing too well. So we're going to take a break now, and we'll be back with another program that will feature the consolation finals for 3rd and 5th places. But for now, I'm Dave Bean for
Don Jones
and
Jerry Tischler.
We're going to say so long now.